promoting a healthy environment. It's the air we breathe. Clean, safe water. Responsible management of our natural resources. We protect and restore for a sustainable future. Environment matters.
One of the things that we really promote is making the world a better place, whether it's providing the education to the community about what we can do to make it better, whether it's recycling, cleaning up, doing things with the things that you could reuse.
Honoring West Virginia's Environmental Teachers of the Year. Plus,
a really good chance to meet new people and just experience what it's like to go to different places.
exploring West Virginia with the DEP's Youth Environmental Program. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Environment Matters. I'm Greg Adolphson. A fire that began in the early morning hours of Saturday, October 21st, destroyed a Wood County business and sent a dense cloud of black smoke into the sky that could be seen for miles. The DEP's Jake Glantz joins us now with more.
Greg, the DEP's Homeland Security and Emergency Response Team was on the scene within hours of the first alarm in Parkersburg and began the process of monitoring and testing for potential environmental hazards. This is all that remains of the Intercontinental Export-Import Warehouse, Plant Number 1 in Parkersburg. The complex, part of the former Ames tool factory, was destroyed in the fire. It took the efforts of 40 volunteer fire departments from Parkersburg and the surrounding area and also into Ohio to bring the fire under control. As you can see from this video shot 4 days after the first response, firefighters continue to pour water over the smoking rubble, putting out hot spots while crews use heavy equipment to sift through the debris. Still too hot for investigators with the State Fire Marshal's office to even get in and attempt to determine a cause. On October 26th, the Environmental Enforcement Section of the DEP's Division of Water and Waste Management issued an order to Intercontinental Export-Import, also known as IEI, demanding a detailed inventory of all the materials that were burned in the fire and how that material will be properly disposed of. All the debris from the fire is being left on the property while the investigation continues. Now, the DEP had previously cited and fined the owners of the facility for violations of their MPDES permit, which is a type of a wastewater permit. The October 26 order also directs the company to immediately act to comply with all the terms and conditions of that permit and to pay the remainder owed of more than $60,000 in fines stemming from those violations. The DEP's Homeland Security and Emergency Response Team arrived on the scene within hours of the first alarm and immediately began using handheld air monitors to determine levels of volatile organic compounds and also oxygen, hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide, chlorine, and ammonia. Nearly 300 air samples were taken between October 21st and October 24th by the DEP and the EPA. All the readings were within acceptable limits set for workers by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, also known as NIOSH. Air quality monitoring results from testing conducted by the Ohio EPA in Belpre and Marietta, right across the river from Parkersburg, also indicated that all values were below short-term screening levels. The pollutants that were detected were at levels comparable to or lower than what is typically seen in urban areas. Additional air monitoring by both West Virginia's DEP and the Ohio EPA and the U.S. EPA is ongoing. The site is not far from the Little Kanawha River, which drains into the Ohio. West Virginia American Water released a statement in the days immediately following the fire that it was monitoring water quality downstream at its Huntington water intake, which is located 124 miles downstream. Additional testing is being performed upstream by Orsanco's organic detection system. Now, Greg, this is a developing story and we'll continue to update it on our website, dep.wv.gov, as new information becomes available. For Environment Matters, I'm Jake Glantz.
Thanks, Jake. A copy of the DEP's order is available on our website, dep.wv.gov. It also details all of the DEP's inspection results and enforcement actions taken at the facility since 2011. The DEP has also posted the results of the hundreds of air quality samples taken in the area surrounding the fire. That information is being continuously updated. A full air monitoring report is still being compiled, and an updated version will be posted once those reports are included. There's also a link to the Ohio's EPA air monitoring test results. As Jake mentioned, this is a developing story. So for the latest information, continue to check our website, dep.wv.gov. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at DEPWV. 3 West Virginia teachers were recently honored as Environmental Teachers of the Year by the DEP and the Association of West Virginia Solid Waste Authorities. The DEP's Mike Huff caught up with some of the winners at the presentation at Pipestem Resort.
What can you do other than just cans and things like that? What can you do besides
You'll
that?
usually find Susan Vandal in front of her 5th grade class at Shea Spring Elementary School in Raleigh County. Susan's classes are active in the school's recycling program, and whether it's collecting aluminum cans or building these iPad stands from recycled wooden pallets, these kids don't like anything to go to waste.
They love to recycle. We do, they'll go out and they'll be recycling in the school, and they'll bring me all the stuff the teachers are throwing away and say, hey, can you do something with this? And I'm like, no, some of that stuff you do have to throw away, but they really get into it, and they recycle for our whole school. And we do all kinds of stuff with it.
Susan won the elementary school division. Winners were also named in the middle school and high school divisions. Each teacher was awarded a $500 prize, plus an additional $1,000 for each school for STEM education. Susan says she'll put it to good use at the school's outdoor classroom.
It's been a long process, like 6 years on the outdoor classroom, and it is awesome. They can go in there and they can test water. They love it. I mean, when you hear them say, "Oh, I love this class. Can't wait to get back," it's awesome. So we go out there and we do in the outdoor classroom. It's not just a classroom that's outside. It's actually they get in the water, and they can look at all the ecosystem going on. They can. It's just great. And we have aquascopes, which we look under the water, and we also, which was really this year, and we did it the last couple of years, but this year was really good because we did the 5th grade taught the 3rd grade all about how seeds spread. We go outside and do all this. We have a composter now, compost bin, and they taught the 3rd grade how seeds spread, and it was really funny because they were the teachers. And so when they're the teachers, they don't like it when the 3rd grade doesn't pay attention. It was too funny. And when the kids did really good, they're like, that's my kid. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I'm having fun and they're having fun, they're going to remember what they're doing. Otherwise, it's going to be vocabulary words or whatever, and they're not. It's not going to matter.
Todd Ashman was the winner in the middle school category. She teaches at Geary Elementary and Middle School in Roane County. Her classes are active in Adopt a Highway, and several students participate in the DEP's Youth Environmental Program. She's also active with the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and the local 4-H program. Her students recently created a rain garden at the school to help with stormwater runoff.
Do you feel like you're having an impact?
I do. I mean, there's a lot more that we're seeing as far as results with number one, people are now wanting to donate flowers for a rain garden to extend it. So we had one small patch, and now it's grown to a 2nd patch, and hopefully we're going to fill in the middle. So that's one impact. I know that the community is seeing what we're doing. The other thing is that the recognition of the kids when they go to, when we do the Kids Day Parade at the Black Walnut Festival, we did a whole thing with the Adopt a Highway. We dressed up in our vests and we had our pickup sticks, and we actually cleaned up on our way through the parade lineup. We cleaned up trash during that time. So I think it is an impact, and the community is aware of that. They're seeing it. The recycling program, there are more people that are willing to provide scholarships and money for those who want to go to the youth environmental camps that I send my students to. So before we weren't known, and now we are, and people are more willing to help these students learn and be experienced and have the opportunities.
Ruth Windham, who teaches at Ritchie County High School, was the winner in the high school division. Congratulations to all the recipients and keep up the good work. 7 municipalities and 4 counties were also recognized at the conference for their cleanup and beautification efforts. In the Clean Community Award, the city of Buchanan was the grand prize winner, taking home the $500 top prize. Runners-up were the communities of Beach Bottom, New Cumberland, Wardensville, Clendenin, Pleasant Valley, and Elkins. They'll receive a glass award signifying their achievement and a pair of road signs designating them a Make It Shine Clean community. 4 counties were honored. The Upshur County Solid Waste Authority took the $2,000 first prize. Berkeley County was awarded second place and a $1,000 award, and the Boone County and Putnam County Solid Waste Authorities tied for third place. Each will receive a $500 cash award. The DEP was in Mercer County recently to help with the cleanup of 8 large illegal open dumps, the largest of which was near the community of Matoka. Open dumps like this one are more than just an eyesore. They're a potential health hazard and harmful to the environment, causing noxious odors and attracting mosquitoes and other pests. Crews at this site also found discarded oil and hydraulic fluid, which could seep into the ground and cause problems. The site, just on the edge of town, was covered with about a foot of trash. Contractors used an end loader to help gather it up and remove it for proper disposal. You can report illegal dumps in your area by contacting the DEP. There's a link on our website, dep.wv.gov. You can find it by clicking the REAP link under the Land tab. DEP officials will investigate the complaint and assist with the prosecution of violators. Every year, the DEP and the West Virginia Division of Highways sponsor Adopt a Highway cleanups all across the state. Volunteers remove tons of trash from hundreds of miles of state roads. Besides being an eyesore, roadside litter can also be a serious hazard, but not in the way you might expect. The DEP's Brianna Hickman joins us now with more on reducing this highly preventable threat.
Greg, it's an eyesore and a nuisance, and a danger to wildlife, especially birds of prey. That's why roadside litter and raptors can be a deadly combination. High in the sky, they soar and glide with ease and grace, but these birds face a serious threat much closer to the ground.
When people toss stuff outside their car, then it sits alongside the road and acts as bait for small animals to come. And so then when you got small animals coming to the road, then you're going to get predators coming to the road, and then they get hit.
Wendy and Ron Peroni run the Three Rivers Avian Center near Hinton. Together with a network of veterinarians across the state, they rescue and rehabilitate non-game birds that have been injured, usually because of human contact.
Collisions with vehicles is still among the top 5 of the problems that we have.
One reason for that is that raptors, hawks, owls, and falcons will often stand their ground in the face of oncoming traffic.
What we often see is that owls get hit by cars a lot. And when we're going to the areas that owls have been hit, over and over and over again, we're finding that these are areas where people tend to throw trash or sodas or cigarette butts or things like that out of the cars. They either roll along the highway or more frequently are parked near an area. We've seen it over and over again. And they just don't recognize that cars are a predator in their, as far as their book is concerned, And they don't want to give up that freshly caught mouse or that freshly caught chipmunk or snake or whatever they might have, and then they get hit. And you'll see this too, that we've seen foxes hit for the same reason. We've seen all sorts of critters hit beside the road, because of the trash issue. So we're encouraging everybody, please keep your food inside. And I've heard people say, well, it's biodegradable, it doesn't matter, I toss it outside the window, it's going to disappear into the environment. Well, biodegradable means something eats it, whether it's a microbe or a mouse or something else. And so that means that, whatever you're doing, whenever you're tossing that out, you're baiting a trap.
But it's not just discarded food that gets animals into trouble. Cigarette butts are surprisingly attractive to animals, especially birds who then line their nests with them. Toxic effects from nicotine can work its way up the food chain.
All that tar nicotine then goes into the babies, so they end up with a toxic load. Now, it may not be enough to kill them, but it certainly makes them behave erratically. And so then they become prey for another predator.
Wendy says the only safe thing to dump out is water. Even sweetened drinks can cause a problem.
It goes into the gravel, then the sun hits it, evaporates the water, and now you have a candy lick made from the syrup that's left behind. Well, everybody loves candy, including little critters.
Wendy says the message is simple. Keep your trash inside your car until it can be disposed of properly. She says about half of the birds that come to Three Rivers recover well enough to return to the wild. Others that recover but can no longer fly become permanent residents at the sanctuary and often go with Ron and Wendy to educational presentations across the state. For Environment Matters, I'm Brianna Hickman.
Thanks, Brianna. If you'd like to learn more about the Three Rivers Avian Center and the good work they do, you can visit their website, tracwv.org. 11 applicants will share nearly $100,000 in grant funding to cover the recycling of covered electronic devices. The Covered Electronic Device Program was established in 2008 and requires manufacturers of electronic devices to register their brands with the state. Fees collected from this program allow counties and municipalities to apply for CED grants to hold electronic collection events and support ongoing collection programs. The goal of the program is to divert electronics from the waste stream. A complete list of this year's grant recipients is available on our website, dep.wv.gov. It's a chance to get together, share ideas, and make new friends. The annual fall conference of the DEP's Youth Environmental Program held this year at North Bend State Park. This is the 42nd conference and the 54th year of the program, making it older than the DEP itself. This year's conference featured a talk on soil conservation and a tour of the West Virginia Conservation Agency's Soil Conservation Trailer, which gives students a 3D look at what's just below the surface. They traveled to the Ohio River Islands National Wildlife Refuge and learned about a program that is reintroducing a native species of mussel back into the river after it nearly disappeared from the watershed. The group also toured the Oil and Gas Museum in Parkersburg and got a hands-on look at the history of the industry and how it shaped West Virginia, and finally, a trip to Blennerhassett Island.
This is the first time that I've been in it. And my favorite part so far is getting to see places that I haven't been.
Okay. So what do you think about the program?
I like it so far.
Okay.
I think it's a really good chance to meet new people and just experience what it's like to go to different places.
The impact is that they do become aware of the environment, that they do have a passion for taking care of it, and it stays with them throughout their lives. And the reason I know this is because I have seen children come into the program whose parents have been involved, whose parents had attended junior conservation camp. And I come across people that say, oh, when I was a young lady or a young boy, I was in that program way back when it was, the Youth Day was held at Holly River. And that was before my time. So the program's been around and people remember it, and what they remember about it is it fosters a sense of caring and an awareness of the environment, and a sense of responsibility for taking care of West Virginia. It's a beautiful state, and it fosters a sense of pride, I believe.
Diana Haid has been working with the Youth Environmental Program for nearly 40 years and has recently retired from DEP. This was her last conference as program manager. That job now belongs to another veteran DEP employee, Annette Hoskins. We sat down with both to talk about the program and its future.
Oh, this program is going into very good hands. Annette has been involved with this program for several years now, since 2009 actually, and helped me in many aspects of the awards, putting Youth Day together, attending junior conservation camp, putting the kids in rooms, and in the Youth Environmental Conference she's helped me go to the sites where we would like to hold the conference and work with me on the people like here at North Bend on lodging and food and things like that. So, and she's very, very organized, and she's got a very good sense of detail. She's very detail oriented, And she's a lot younger than I am, has a lot more energy than I do, and I can see this program growing and flourishing under her direction. I really can.
I was extremely excited. I have worked assisting Diana for many years now, and it's been a wonderful experience. I have learned so much, and I'm excited. I'm nervous because I do have big shoes to fill, but I'm anxious. I'm anxious to start a new role and to continue, the success that this program has brought to the youth of West Virginia. The program has been a success for so many years that it doesn't need a whole lot of changes or anything like that. We have a great set of coordinators that help with the program, and they do a great job. And so my first step is to work with them, see what kind of challenges that they're experiencing, and see how I can assist with those challenges, and then to go from there. You might want to ask me that question again in another 6 months or so. I might have a better idea about where I'm headed, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to that nice ride.
I just know that this program is in very good hands, and I know that it will grow and it will improve. And Annette has got good ideas. She's forward thinking, and she's wants to keep it fresh, and I know it will be updated. She's already made leaps and bounds through the social media part of it, and we hope to keep that going and possibly expand on that, and hopefully grow the program. And I know under her direction that it will do. She'll do a great job, and the program will continue to flourish.
To find out more about the DEP's Youth Environmental Program or to enroll, visit our website, dep.wv.gov. The program is designed to unite existing youth groups such as 4-H clubs, scouts, and school groups to participate in environmental projects within their communities. It provides an incentive to the groups that actively participate by offering more than $15,000 in cash awards and scholarships. A group of visiting students from Wheeling Jesuit, Notre Dame, and Creighton recently visited DEP headquarters in Charleston to learn more about West Virginia's extraction industries. Representatives from the DEP's Office of Oil and Gas, Division of Mining and Reclamation, and Office of Abandoned Mine Lands took part in the informal discussion along with members of the Public Information Office. Students asked questions about the DEP's role in oil and gas and coal permitting and extraction. The group was spending the week in West Virginia exploring coal and gas issues. The trip was organized by the Appalachian Institute at Wheeling Jesuit University. The DEP and Habitat for Humanity Restore have once again partnered for our annual latex paint drive. This year's totals are still being added up, but last year's drive netted more than a ton of unwanted paint. Habitat Restore takes the donated paint, sorts it by color and type, and then strains, blends, and repackages the paint for sale for pennies on the dollar. Proceeds from the sale go to help with Habitat for Humanity's home building mission. If you've missed your chance to drop off your paint at our paint drive, don't worry. You can drop it off directly at the Habitat for Humanity Restore here in Charleston anytime. If paint donation or recycling isn't possible, the best way to prevent latex paint from becoming an environmental concern is to harden it with sawdust or cat litter, or if it's just a small amount left over, spread it on cardboard and allow it to dry before throwing it in the trash. Oil-based paints and stains, on the other hand, are considered household hazardous waste and should never be poured down the drain. Read the label and follow manufacturer's instructions for proper disposal. You can also check with your local recycling center or solid waste authority about disposal options. The deadline is approaching to enter the 2018 Ohio River Sweep poster and t-shirt contest. The event and the contest are sponsored by our friends at ORSANCO, the Ohio River Valley Water Sanitation Commission. The contest is open for students K through 12 who live or go to school in counties bordering the Ohio River and its tributaries that participate in the annual sweep. One grand prize winner gets a check for $500. The winner of the t-shirt contest also gets $500, and both winners, schools, receive $100 for art supplies. 13 grade level winners will also receive a check for $50. The deadline for entries is December 15th. For contest details and an entry form, visit their website or sanco.org. We leave you now at a rainy afternoon at Sandstone Falls on the New River. On behalf of all of us here at the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
More than 800 people with one mission, promoting a healthy environment. We are the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.